And what I discovered that there was an entire way of thinking that so defined my experience with trying to keep a journal. And what I discovered was, at the time, this was referred to as a left brain process, but I since then, there's been a lot of research that has not necessarily affirmed that. It's not necessarily a division down your brain, but there is a kind of thinking that we equate with that left brain thinking. And you'll see some of those traits on the left, and feel free to add to those as you kind of think of your own qualities that go with that. That mode of thinking was all about logic. It was all about getting things right. It was all about analyzing the words. It was all about making the right choices. And I call this the responsible side, the grown-up side, that cares so much about outcomes. So if I'm going to keep a journal, it's all about what I'm going to get, and that outcome, and the result, and those beautiful words on the page, or else, here we go again. Let's tear out the page. That's not where I needed to be. And the irony is, I learned about this new way of thinking, this creative breakthrough, and this ability to really play and accept myself on a spiritual level and a creative level by journaling. There was no way out but through. And what I discovered is that when you practice, and here I am again over Anne's shoulder, I'm going to tell her how bad her writing is. If she will simply write anyway, if she will simply intend, I'm going to do this anyway, if she will simply save the page and fill it up and scribble all over it and make a mess and let it be bad, what happens is then we get to where we really belonged all along, and that is the dream kid side. You'll see on that grid. Not only is this a place where you connect to your emotions and what you're feeling and being in the moment, as we saw earlier in the demonstration of the dance, the dream kid side is really where you create and where you connect in a spiritual way. And we don't realize that being in the dream kid side is our natural state. It is the place where creativity begins. It is the place where conversations and connections begin. Because we're so busy fielding off these other responsible traits. And we're so busy deflecting that. And we don't realize that we have a choice, that we can just actually go through it. We can actually be aware of that clutter, be aware of that conversation, that criticism, and go through it. And a couple of decades later, I have 60 journals or more filled that have taught me so much about accepting my whole heart, my whole life, my whole world. I don't need to pick and choose or feel some of it isn't good enough.